Let's get ready for Monday Mortgage Minute with your hosts, Tom McNamara and Bruce Woodburn.
All right, it's Monday.
All day long.
Right. All day long. Just to give you a recap on market update, just so you know, market's not doing as great. Lock your loan in now. Let's get right on to some business, though. You've been part of my Loan Arranger real estate rebate program, okay? And I want to talk a little bit about that. Tell everyone a little bit about what you know about the Loan Arranger real estate rebate program from your perspective. Like, why did I create it? What does it do? And why are you on that list? So let's start with that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And so first of all, I appreciate all of the customers that you send my way through your rebate program. These are people that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten to serve, right? There are folks that maybe called in on your radio program or saw you on a podcast somewhere, and you're bringing these people in, you're getting them qualified, right? And then to ensure that they get the best service, you're handing them to an agent that you know personally has done a lot of business and does good business with you. And so,
in the area too, right?
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want to give you.
Yeah, you're not going to hand me a Tampa. Yeah, exactly. You're gonna do the geography, right? I'm sure I know that I'm one of your rebate agents, and you've got a number of them. I don't know what that number is, so I know I'm not getting all the referrals, but I get several of them every year, and I think I'm at 100% close rate on all of them, helping them get into a home. Sometimes they've taken 6 months, but we've gotten them there, right? And
generally, though.
No. Generally, it's weeks. I mean, generally, we're going to find, most people find a home in. Actually, just said this to a client yesterday because she was getting concerned that it was taking them too long. And I said, listen, people either find a home in 2 weeks or they take 3 months. There's not a lot of in between. There's not a lot of in between.
Why do you think I created this program?
Because I'm going to guess that you had a lot of not optimal experiences with agents that maybe didn't know what they were doing, weren't good at negotiating, weren't good at paperwork, weren't good at keeping up with things to make sure that details got covered, and you had deals falling apart.
Well, am I wrong? No, that's not wrong. And it gets even worse than that because I looked at this and I would find a client. Let's start with, how do most people find a real estate agent? They either are driving around and go to a yard sign, and then they're talking to the listing agent. The listing agent is there to represent the seller. So why would that be like me going to court and consulting with my opposing counsel's attorney? It doesn't make any sense for me. Now, I know realtors love to double dip a deal. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I want my client to have independent representation. So that was one thing. Second thing is, if they didn't pick that agent, they picked somebody that was referred to them by someone they know. But that person may have had a great experience with that real estate agent, but we don't know how good of a deal they got. So I look at that, and when I'm working with a client, I see the negotiations going back and forth because I'm updating pre-approval letters on a regular basis, right?
Correct.
But I'm seeing the realtor. I say to the realtor, I think you should probably go back in and let's see if we can get this for the buyer. And that's going to work best for their financing. Do they need those closing costs paid? They don't have to have it, but they'd want it because it makes their numbers better. It makes their payment better. That seller said they're not going to do that. And I'm like, if I listened to whatever seller said, then I would just be making offers as I'm just an order taker. Then I'm not a negotiator. And I kept going, oh my God, they're leaving money on the table, but I can't say anything because it's my buyer's aunt's cousin. And I'm like, oh my God, it was painful. And I'm like, you guys are leaving so much money on the table. So I looked at that and I went, stop picking your own agents. Let me pick the agents. I will give you an agent that I've pre-vetted. I've done business with. I know how they communicate. I know how they negotiate. And by God, some of these deals, the negotiation might be, that's the best deal on the market. Make a full price offer and let's do it right now. That might be the right advice for that particular deal. But other ones are like, yeah, this house is a little overpriced. this house has a power line in the neighborhood behind it that I think could knock off a little bit. You look at those aspects. I look for agents that are looking to make sure they're taking care of the customer as if it's your own family, even better than family.
100%. Yeah.
Now, so what I did is I didn't want an agent to have to pay me for a referral. I don't pay you when you refer a deal to me, and you don't
Correct.
pay me when I refer a deal to you. But
Correct.
what I needed to do is give the client a reason to choose and allow me the opportunity to refer them to someone. In return, that real estate agent then gives them up to 25% of their commission. Now, why do I say up to 25%? Why do you think I say that?
Because a lot of times, especially lately, I can get them so much credit from the seller, and you can give them credit. Well, there's limits. They can only get so much. And so while the math might say 25%, might say it's a $2,500 credit, but I could only give $1,800. We just had one of those close last month that I could only give. It's because I've got them so much from the seller that we capped out.
So let's put that in perspective.
Right.
Different types of loans have different allowable concessions that a seller can give up. So if
Correct.
you negotiate the closing costs from the seller, then you don't have to pay it as an agent because you got it
Correct.
from the seller. And
Correct.
that's a win-win for the buyer. That's a win-win for everyone because now that seller doesn't have to, they don't have to split it all up and go here and there. They're just giving it all to the buyer and you don't have to pay it. And sometimes you got some from the seller and you paid a little bit. You made up a gap, right?
Sure.
But this allows my buyers
and listen,
to do
I
more.
don't mind giving up. I don't mind giving up that rebate at all, right? It doesn't affect me negatively in any way because a lot of people don't know this about the real estate industry, but we pay each other referrals all the time, not you and me, but agents. I might have an agent from New York that refers me a person that's moving down here and I'm going to give them a referral payment, right? And it's a lot of times it's 30, 35%.
Okay, let's put this in perspective. What about a corporate relocation? I know
corporate reloads are crazy. The lowest that I've paid on a corporate reload is 40%. On average, they're 43. Yeah, 43 to 45%. And I'm doing one right now. I'm hoping to get it because it's a nice listing, but I'm giving up 50%. 50.
Yep, that's a lot of money to give up. Now, what about Dave Ramsey? Ever done that before?
I've never used him, but I understand he's in the 40s. He's in either the low 30s or the low 30s or high 30s or early 40s. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about a Zillow lead. Now, got to remember, folks that are listening to this, the realtors that are on Zillow are paying for your lead. They're not good realtors necessarily. I'm not saying all Zillow realtors aren't good. I'm just saying that they can't go out and hunt their own people. They don't have the skills to get clients to call them. They don't have the repeat business coming in. So they buy it. They buy it.
So Zillow has an interesting model and they've changed their model a ton of different times and they have different programs. You can just pay for exposure, what they call share of voice, where your name pops up at the bottom of the listing multiple times, right? You get so much of that exposure. They also have, in case a lot of people think when you hit the button that says contact agent now, most people think they're going to go to the listing agent. They do not. They go to a Zillow buyer's agent, right?
Yeah.
And if you hit contact now or a contact agent button and go Zillow agent, most likely that agent is going to pay 40% of their Zillow for the right in your lead.
Yeah.
And on top of that, sometimes they're paying a monthly service fee as well.
They pay a monthly service fee. And now what's been happening, and there's a lot of legislation out on this, and there's some lawsuits that are flying from what I understand, is that the Zillow is saying, if I give you, Mr. Realtor, that lead, you have to refer that to Zillow Mortgage. Now that's steering and that's illegal. Now you can't do that. Even if I gave you a lead and they went to Tom and they said to Tom, I want a name of another lender. You would have to say, you're welcome to shop anybody you want. And Zillow says, oh, you're welcome to shop everyone you want, but you have to give us that lead first. You have to. That's against the law. No one can do that. What happens is it eliminates the opportunity because a lot of buyers are just corralled into that and they don't realize it's even happening. So here's why I created this program. I want my customers to have a better experience. I want my customers to know that if I refer them to a real estate agent, they're getting an amazing real estate agent. And no, Tom doesn't get all of my leads, but he gets a big part of them in the Central Florida area. And I do that because I can count on him. I got several transactions. I've even referred things to Tom that I'm not even working on. I didn't even get the deal. The guy was buying new construction and went somewhere else, but I referred him to Tom because Tom takes care of them. I've got agents throughout the state of Florida. I've got one right now in Tennessee I'm referring out. But I want the customer to have a good experience because if it breaks down with you, then it breaks down with me. People start getting uneasy with the whole process. And I want my clients to turn around and go, doggone it, Bruce, thanks for referring Tom to me. Unbelievable agent. He really negotiated hard for me and I'd use him again. And I got a deal right now. You're doing Shane's parents' house. I'm not even doing the deal on that. And Shane came from me. So that's multiple transactions that you can get. My point is, if you want a great agent, stop picking your own doggone agents. Call me. I'll give you the referral. I'll set you up. I got agents all over the state of Florida, throughout the country, but stop picking them yourself. You're horrible at picking them. And you don't even know it when they're leaving money on the table. So let the loan arranger pick your people. Now, here's why Tom likes it too. I'm not referring you pre-qualified clients, am I?
You're not?
Tom?
You are.
No.
Yeah.
I'm referring you fully approved clients.
Fully approved. Yeah.
I'm referring you fully approved clients, not pre-qualified. These clients have been through underwriting. These clients are golden. They are ready to close. They just got to find a house, get their appraisal, make sure the title's clear, and bang, we're going to closing.
Like I said, we have 100% success rate so far with all the ones that you've given me. 100% of the time, we've gotten them a house, we've gotten them a great deal, and they're happy.
Yep. So if you're out there looking for a real estate agent, stop picking your own agents and definitely don't pick a family member. Call me. I'll set you up with the right people. We'll get your loan fully approved so that you can be like a cash buyer. That's why I do that. I'm not screwing around with a pre-qualification letter. I want to know that I could literally close that transaction in 10 days. If I can close in 10 days and you make an offer, if I have a client that makes an offer, say on one of your listings and says, hey, Tom, I can close in 10 days. Even if your seller says, I need 45 days, does that make that buyer look stronger?
Yeah, you really broke up on me there, buddy. But yes, I know you were talking all about your pre-approval, right? Your strong pre-approval that's
a 10-day closing.
When I have those buyers that are that strong, man, I am able to take that and leverage it with most sellers because most sellers care about three things. They care about how much money they get. They care about how fast they get it, but they also always care about making sure it's going to close. There is nothing freaking worse than having a deal fall apart 2 or 3 days before closing. Well,
and
if it falls apart the day of closing, that's probably worse. But I mean, these things happen where we found out they have a tax lien in Texas and you're done. You're out of the running. Maybe you can fix it later on and get a different house, but you're not getting that one.
Yep. And that will not happen on my watch. That's it. Tom, I appreciate you talking about the Loan Arranger real estate rebate program, if I can even say my own name. But I will tell you something.
Looking forward to getting it.
Yeah, we got another one coming right now, my friend. Have a great day.
All right. You as well.